It was a quiet afternoon in the small village. A gentle breeze swayed through the bamboo trees, and life seemed to move at its usual pace. But, as in many stories that begin in peace, something was about to change. In the middle of the dirt road, a small crowd began to gather, drawn by the loud, taunting voice of a man known for his arrogance. Standing before him was an old man who seemed drunk, dressed in simple clothes and walking with a staggering gait. Few knew, but behind that fragile appearance lay a story no one could imagine. And before the tension grew, if you're watching this, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Here you'll find true and inspiring stories that will keep you hooked until the very end. With a mocking grin, the bully began to taunt the old man in front of everyone. "Look at you, can barely stand up, and you dare face me." The laughter of his cronies echoed through the village, creating an atmosphere of public humiliation. The old man remained silent, simply staring at his aggressor as if measuring every move. There was no fear in his expression, only patience, a patience hiding something dangerous. The bully, feeling in control, stepped closer and poked the old man's chest with his stick. In that brief moment, a cold glint flashed in the elder's eyes, a clear sign that something was about to change dramatically. With slow, seemingly unstable steps, the old man adjusted his collar and took a deep breath. To those watching from a distance, it looked as if he might collapse at any moment. Yet something felt different. He gave a faint, almost teasing smile and said calmly, "Young man, never underestimate someone you don't know." The bully laughed loudly, thinking it was just drunken talk. But then the old man made a quick, almost imperceptible movement, shifting his feet and relaxing his shoulders. It was the classic stance of an experienced martial artist, and the more attentive onlookers realized this was no coincidence. It was as if all the frailty had vanished, replaced by a firm, controlled, and threatening presence. The game was about to change. The air seemed heavier, and even the birds fell silent for a moment. Without realizing it, the bully began to step more cautiously, as if some instinct told him to retreat. But pride spoke louder. He spun his stick again, trying to intimidate, and charged with a direct strike toward the old man. But before the wood could connect, the elder stepped smoothly to the side, dodging effortlessly. No rush, no wasted energy, just precision. The once casual crowd was now silent. Every gaze was locked in that tense moment, as if everyone knew the first real blow was about to decide who ruled this fight. The bully lunged again, this time with more force and anger, aiming a side strike at the old man. But in one fluid motion, the elder intercepted with his forearm, spinning his body and using the aggressor's own strength against him. A sharp sound echoed as the bully lost his balance and nearly fell. The old man seized the opening, delivering a short sequence of clean, precise moves, a touch to the shoulder, a twist of the wrist, and a gentle push to the chest that sent the bully stumbling back. They weren't flashy moves like in the movies. They were simple, direct, and full of skill. Those who knew martial arts could tell instantly this man was in complete control. Now fully awakened, the old man stood firm. His hands moved as if dancing in the air, yet each motion carried weight and purpose. The bully tried brute force, but was met with a perfect block, followed by a lightning-fast counterattack. A short punch to the solar plexus knocked the wind out of him. Before he could recover, a quick kick to his leg forced him to buckle. The crowd widened their eyes, not at the violence, but at the millimeter precision of every strike. The elder wasted no movement. Every action had a purpose, to neutralize, to control, to prove that arrogance had no place in this fight. Silence blanketed the village, broken only by the sharp sounds of impact and the bully's heavy breathing. Every villager stood frozen, as if time had slowed before their eyes. Those who had been smirking earlier now stared with mouths agape, unable to believe what they were seeing. The man they thought was a harmless drunk now moved with the grace and precision of a legendary master. Even the bully's friends took a step back, unsure whether to intervene or witness this live lesson in humility and skill. The old man steadied his breath, eyes fixed on his opponent. His feet anchored into the ground, and then he unleashed a move few recognized, a swift, almost invisible kick paired with a smooth body turn. It was the legendary shadowless kick, a rare kung fu technique capable of striking before the enemy even realized where it came from. The hit landed precisely on the bully's leg, making him stagger with a muffled groan. The elder calmly returned to his stance, as if nothing had happened, but everyone knew that this single move had turned the tide completely. Pain and humiliation gnawed at the bully, and he lost all composure. His attacks became reckless, driven by anger rather than skill. He screamed, swinging wildly, hoping to land a single hit. But that was exactly the opening the master wanted. Every attack was dodged with the smallest of movements, as if the old man could read his intentions before they even formed. Sweat poured down the bully's face, his breathing labored. The arrogance from minutes before had melted into frustration and fear. The old man stood still for a moment, waiting for the perfect timing. When the bully charged one last time, the elder stepped slightly aside, tapped his wrist to disarm him, and spun gracefully, using his opponent's own momentum to throw him to the ground. A cloud of dust rose as the bully hit the dirt. He lay there, breathless, without the courage to stand. The old man calmly adjusted his sleeves and stepped back, signaling the fight was over. No more strikes were needed, the lesson had been delivered, and the shame would hurt more than any bruise. The old man looked at the fallen bully and said firmly, "Strength without discipline is just destruction, and destruction will never defeat true art." The bully avoided meeting anyone's eyes, humiliated. His own friends lowered their heads, realizing this was more than a fight. It was a lesson. The master didn't boast or humiliate further. He simply walked away, as if he had fulfilled his duty. From that day on, no one in the village underestimated him again. When the crowd dispersed, the old man walked to a small tavern at the end of the street. He sat in his wooden chair, ordered a cup of tea, and watched the village as if nothing had happened. For him, the fight had not been about showing off power, but about restoring order and teaching respect. A gentle breeze rustled the bamboo leaves, and he closed his eyes for a moment, breathing in the peace he had always cherished. For a true master, the greatest victory is keeping the peace. And before you go, have you liked, shared, and subscribed to the channel? Every video here brings lessons that last a lifetime.